Scarlett Hayes, 32, has spent months financially supporting her estranged, emotionally abusive parents while hoping for acknowledgement for herself and her daughter, Ava. On Ava's 6th birthday, Scarlett's parents fail to appear, showing no interest in their granddaughter. This betrayal triggers Scarlett to sever financial ties and emotional dependency. Her parents attempt to manipulate public perception via social media, but Scarlett's calm, strategic response exposes their hypocrisy. With the support of her brother Ryan and Aunt Virginia, Scarlett reclaims agency, establishes boundaries, and builds a safe, loving environment for Ava, proving that family is defined by love, not blood. The sunlight slanted through the thin curtains, painting stripes across Ava's tiny hands as she twirled in her sparkly pink birthday dress. Scarlett Hayes watched from the kitchen doorway, coffee in hand, half laughing, half wincing at the glitter clinging to her daughter's hair. Today should have been ordinary. But Scarlett knew better. Mondays had been sacred for 8 months, $700 sent to the very people who pretended love could be bought. Her parents, distant ghosts in the corners of her life, had never once shown warmth toward Ava. Ava spun again. "Mommy, can you braid it like Elsa?" she begged, eyes shining like polished glass. Scarlett smiled, threading strands with care, but inside, her chest clenched. She remembered the first time her daughter tried to reach out to her grandparents. Her father had glanced at Ava like she was a stranger. Her mother had smiled for the camera only. And yet here she was, hoping foolishly, perhaps, that love could be forced. The backyard smelled of lemon cupcakes and cheap streamers, a miniature paradise Scarlett had cobbled together from dollar store finds. Ava's laughter bounced off the walls of their tiny home, but every 10 minutes, the little girl's gaze flicked to the front gate. "Mommy, do you think Nana and Grandpa are almost here?" Scarlett swallowed a bitter laugh. "Maybe, sweetheart. Let's give them a little more time." She felt the lie scrape her throat. "Absolutely. Here's the full rewritten cinematic version of your story in 6 sections, each 500 words, keeping the emotional core while refreshing the narrative style and pacing. A text buzzed. Her mother, "Tell Ava happy birthday from us." That was it. No warmth, no acknowledgement. Scarlett's fingers trembled as she dialed her father. His clipped voice reached her, "Your child doesn't exist for us." Silence engulfed the room. Scarlett didn't cry. She didn't shout. She stared at the screen until the hum of the refrigerator became the only sound. Then, methodically, she opened her banking app. One by one, every scheduled payment disappeared. Rent, insurance, utilities, all gone. It was quiet, almost imperceptible, but it felt like reclaiming her life. Ava fell asleep later, frosting smeared on her pillow. Scarlett watched her chest rise and fall and whispered, "Never again." Not revenge, not punishment, just boundaries, protection, freedom. Outside, the wind rustled the leaves. Inside, a mother and child existed in a bubble of laughter, crumbs, and love. And for the first time in years, Scarlett realized they were enough. The next morning, Scarlett's phone buzzed, her mother's number. She ignored it. Another call, unknown number. Scarlett hesitated, then answered, "Hello." A polite male voice, the landlord. Her stomach sank. Her parents' rent hadn't been paid. They'd been relying on her. For months. Scarlett inhaled slowly, grounding herself. The realization hit like ice. Every cent, every ounce of energy she'd spent had been feeding people who refused to see her child as real. Ryan, her brother, called later. "Mom called me," he admitted, voice low. Scarlett felt her chest tighten. "You too?" she asked quietly. Ryan laughed dryly. "Turns out we were both funding the same guilt." Together, they pieced the puzzle: lies, manipulation, and absence. Scarlett felt a fierce clarity settle over her. They weren't parents. They were performers. And this time, Scarlett refused to play along. Ava, oblivious to the storm, hummed in the kitchen while coloring a rainbow of stars. Scarlett's heart ached and swelled simultaneously. She realized her daughter's world could be bright and safe. It just required courage and sacrifice. She spent the day meticulously cutting her parents out of her accounts, her life, her obligations. Every deletion felt like cutting puppet strings, leaving clean space where toxicity had festered. By evening, Scarlett opened her laptop and drafted a mental plan. Let them unravel themselves. Let their lies catch up. Her own resolve, tempered by years of quiet endurance, had become sharp, precise. And in the distance, Ava's laughter was a drumbeat of hope, a rhythm Scarlett intended to protect. It arrived quietly, a Facebook live stream from her mother. Scarlett's chest tightened. She watched as her parents performed victimhood for hundreds of viewers. The cruel lie echoed, Ava doesn't exist. Scarlett manipulates everyone. Scarlett's first instinct was panic. Then, a strange calm settled over her. She didn't respond. She let the camera and their words reveal who they truly were. Within hours, comments poured in: confusion, criticism, disbelief. People began to see through the performance. The next day, her parents appeared at a family reunion uninvited, trying to rewrite history. Scarlett's cousin, Lauren, fearless and unafraid of confrontation, played the recorded live video over the speaker. Gasps spread through the lawn like fire. Her parents froze. Humiliation. Exposure. Their world tilted. Scarlett stood silently, chest heavy but resolute. Ava sat nearby, safe in her little bubble of innocence, unaware of the spectacle. For Scarlett, the revelation was twofold. The world could see the truth, and she finally didn't need their approval. This was power. This was liberation. The fallout spread. Church friends, distant relatives, neighbors, everyone saw the video, shared the story, and commented. Scarlett watched quietly as the once dominant narrative her parents had controlled began to crumble. Ryan called constantly. "Scar, it's escalating," he warned. Scarlett didn't flinch. Each day brought minor shocks, the landlord turning them away, friends questioning their integrity, social humiliation mounting. Scarlett realized something profound. Boundaries weren't just protective. They were transformative. At night, Scarlett tucked Ava in, brushing her hair gently. She whispered a quiet vow. No one will hurt you with lies. Not them. Not anyone. Her chest ached with both loss and liberation. She had grieved years of stolen recognition, but now she was rewriting the rules. Sunday arrived. Scarlett, Ryan, and Ava went to Aunt Virginia's house, the one relative uncorrupted by cruelty. The warmth of mismatched dishes, cinnamon pie, and laughter enveloped them. Ava's little hands were sticky with flour. Scarlett's heart swelled in a way it hadn't for years. No confrontation. No vindictiveness. Just peace. Aunt Virginia looked at Scarlett knowingly. "Kindness isn't weakness, dear," she said. "It's strength with boundaries." Scarlett nodded, tears threatening, and realized she had finally claimed her life. The letter from Aunt Virginia had been clear. "You are no longer part of this family, not because we disowned you, but because you chose to protect your child." Scarlett understood now that peace didn't come from punishment. It came from choosing love over toxicity. Weeks later, Scarlett sat on the porch, watching Ava chase butterflies. Ryan joined her, and they shared a quiet laugh. The world had changed, the parents' lies exposed, their social facades crumbling, but Scarlett's life had only expanded. Ava's innocent joy was the ultimate victory. Family wasn't blood, it was chosen. Scarlett tucked Ava in that night, brushing crumbs from her hair. "We're safe now, baby," she whispered. Peace settled like sunlight over her heart. Years of exhaustion, guilt, and invisible striving melted away. Scarlett realized the profound truth she had been chasing. They chose pride over love. She chose love over chaos. And in that choice, she had finally won. 8 months. That's how long Scarlett had poured money, energy, and hope into ghosts. Grocery deliveries, car insurance, bills, all of it. All in the quiet, desperate hope of connection. Yet the pattern repeated itself. Silence, avoidance, subtle cruelty. Ava's small hands reached for hers. "It's okay," Scarlett whispered. "We have today, just us." Her phone buzzed. A text from her mother. "Tell Ava happy birthday from us." That was it. No warmth, no acknowledgement, just a token obligation. Scarlett felt a chill as she dialed, her fingers trembling. Her father's voice was clipped, almost amused. "Your child doesn't exist for us." Silence swallowed the kitchen. Scarlett didn't cry. She didn't scream. She stared at the screen until the hum of the refrigerator filled the space where anger should have been. Then, methodically, she opened her banking app. One by one, every payment scheduled for her parents disappeared. Rent, insurance, utilities, gone. The act was quiet, almost imperceptible, yet it rang with freedom. Later, Ava fell asleep on the couch, frosting smeared across her pillow. Scarlett watched her chest rise and fall, feeling a calmness that frightened her. She whispered to herself, "Never again." Not because of rage, but because some betrayals deserved silence, not confrontation. The world outside could scream. Inside, they had reclaimed something sacred. Outside, the wind rustled through the leaves. Inside, a mother and her child existed in a bubble of laughter, of crumbs of love. And Scarlett realized something she hadn't dared believe in years. They were enough.